Greetings, students, and welcome to week 9, the Sandwich Islands. Now, I know many of you are probably going, Professor, there are islands made of sandwiches? What is going on? Can we go there on a field trip? Sadly, no. It is Hawaii. We are talking about Hawaii. Hawaii was named the Sandwich Islands by Europeans when the Europeans arrived, because Captain Cook was sponsored by the Earl of Sandwich, like the guy who actually invented the sandwich. I know, isn't history weird? It's fun, right? Okay, so for this week, we are going to be learning not only about the history of Hawaii, how it was populated, all of that kind of things. It's a little bit different because we're actually going to be getting a little bit more into modern history this week than we normally do. We'll also be covering the annexation of Hawaii by America. And the reason I've decided to incorporate this week, we typically don't go this late into the 19th century in this class because it's to 1850. But sadly, we don't learn much about the annexation of Hawaii. I think the general narrative that most of us learned is that most people in Hawaii voted to be a state after World War II, so they want to be here, so it's cool, right? Well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, what are we doing this week? Well, we are going to learn, one, how Hawaii became a place to begin with. We're going to learn how we kind of tricked them out of their country, their really unique systems of governance and religion, and fascinating things. So it's going to be a lot on Hawaii this week, a lot of interesting stuff. So what are we up to, and what do you need to do this week, more importantly? Well, I would start out by watching the weekly overview video of my floating head, as always. And then we have 3 keywords and concepts videos this week. Pretty average, right? This week you only have one set of reading. You do not have a primary source and a secondary source. And that's because we're in the late 19th century. You don't need a secondary source at this point. It's pretty much modern English. There's no weird spellings. It's typed. You should be good. You should be all right. So we have 3 keywords and concepts videos, and then I have an introduction to our reading, which technically has a very, very long name, but we're shortening it to A Residence in the Sandwich Islands of 21 Years. This was written by one of the first American missionaries, Hiram Bingham, who went to Hawaii to convert the native Hawaiians, and he came at a very convenient time for the conversion, and we're going to learn about that. So quite fascinating. It's not super long, it's 20 pages, but they're those like old-fashioned pages where we would probably consider them like a paragraph now. So they're pretty little. So go ahead and watch the introduction video for that, and then go ahead and read it. It's a PDF that's there for you. And then I found the niftiest documentary this week. I know, I say it every week. But it's an old History Channel documentary. Guys, I miss old History Channel. Old History Channel before Ice Road Truckers and Ancient Aliens was the stuff. It really was. And conveniently, Central Penn's library has a bunch of the archived videos. So you don't even have to watch like ads this week to get your education. Isn't that nice? We can use things through the library. So go ahead and watch Conquest of Hawaii. It's about 90 minutes. Yes, it's from the late 90s, so the video quality is not the best, but the information is good. And as we're watching the video, I don't talk about it much for your reading because it's not as applicable, but especially as we're watching the video, I want you to think about whether or not Hawaii should still be a state. Because that's what we're going to be talking about in our discussion board post. No wrong answers in the discussion board post. You can want to keep Hawaii, not want to keep Hawaii. It's up to you. But just start thinking about it as you're doing everything this week. So once you've watched the documentary, go ahead and take your quiz, and then I will see you guys in the discussion board post where we will talk about the future of Hawaiian sovereignty. I hope you enjoy the week, guys.